Beyond the Two Infinite Minutes is a indie Japanese sci-fi thriller comedy, very quirky Spike Jonze primer-like story about Kato. He runs a cafe, and he discovers what he's looking for his guitar pick in his room. He discovers that the television is talking to him. It's himself 2 minutes in the future, it's himself talking to himself, and he can talk to himself 2 minutes into the past or something. I don't remember which one is which, but basically the TV lets him see stuff 2 minutes in the future, and the computer screen in the other room lets you talk to someone, not talk to the TV in the present day. So he's talking to himself, and he tells himself where the guitar pick is, but then he also tells himself to go to the other room to tell the next person in the loop. So he runs over to the other computer screen, sees himself again, and he has to communicate the same thing that he just did. So that's kind of the core concept of this little time travel comedy. He tells his coworker Aya about it, then she tells two other friends, and then they discover that they can basically, do 2 minutes at a time, but it doesn't really do anything. However, they come up with the ingenious way of setting up the television in an infinite loop, and then they can reset it 4 minutes into the past or future, and then 6 and 8, and then it gets them into trouble because they come across some quirky stuff that doesn't really make sense. But overall, it's a really interesting little fun movie that it's mostly done in one shot. They disguise it, but it's really shot in a weird way, very super low budget. It's just like a really fun experiment. It's definitely a little bit of a puzzle because I really didn't understand how the whole infinite TV thing worked, but they throw in some gangsters in there and some time police, and it's a fun time. It doesn't have to make sense. It's super short. It's barely a little over an hour long, just long enough to hit the feature length running time, but overall it's a really interesting little puzzle, quirky for sure, worth checking out if you're into that. So I give Beyond the Two Infinite Minutes a 6.5 out of 10.